market recap of how I ended up with a negative 400 USD, right? We're going to go over our weekly. This week should have been only wins. I made some mistakes, but lessons, losses, I don't feel nothing. Losing, I don't feel nothing. Losses are here for improvements. Wins are here for improvements. When I lose, we made a mistake and we learn from it, right? So yeah, I had one loss, which should have not been a loss. I just made a little bit of mistake, which perfect setup. This right over here, you can see it was a perfect setup, but the timing of the purge was not a perfect setup, perfect time. So I made a mistake, and eventually market repurged me out and gave me their entry right back up to the upside, and as well as my other trade right over here, round trip. Right, I could have ended up in a week with a $2,000 gain. But my stop loss was a little too high, which was all over here, and market just reversed. I could have only done break even, right? I was selling Siri, hey Siri, was 50% of 5.56. Right when I said that, I saw the market reversing. So okay, if they could tell me anything, let me go break even at least. And when I broke even, market just stopped me out at $138 gain, right? And this one was a loss. I made a mistake. This one was a round trip. It's fine, right? We learn from our mistakes. And there's a game today, this week was a great lesson, right? Very happy, sharpened my edge even more. I don't care that I actually, didn't make any money, that I lost money. All fine, right? Nothing personal, right? It's part of the process. It's gonna be downhills and uphills, right? We're human, right? We can never have you know, a time where we're always gonna be perfect, right? We can't be perfect as in the trading, but we can be perfect on following our rules, right? We gotta be perfect in following our rules. We can never break our rules, right? In this case, we this week I broke my rules. I did not even see that rule, right? I mean, I did see that rule. I knew that the rule existed, but I thought that I thought that I did not need that time to purge because the setup was such a flawless setup, right? Beautiful setup. Everything was beautiful. I thought I did not need it. Eventually, find out I did need it because time is more important than price. But now let's get into our weekly market recap. Monday, we're throughout the whole week. You can see market purge at the CRT low. We're going to the CRT high, right? On the daily, market tap the discounted area, so we go to the premium, right? And we go into the daily range high after the discount area gets tapped. On the daytime, we go from daily IRL to ERL. Throughout the whole week, we go from IRL to ERL, right? So our higher time frame was bullish. Monday, no setup. I was looking for a near continuation because London made the low of the day. When I found bullish, I wanted it to make the low of the day, but we're stuck in a range, so I didn't take no trades. On Tuesday, we're in another range right over here, relative to the market price. I was like, okay, I can't take any trades because in the range, I don't like to trade inside of the range. I only like to take a trade once the extreme side of the range gets spread higher or low, right? So Tuesday, no trade. Wednesday, I was looking for a new situation. It did offer me a setup, but that setup that it offered me was not my ideal way of trading is, right? Because you can see by the hourly CRT. But at the end of the CRT, we had a K. This was as well was a KOD, right? Kiss of death, right? Before me to draw on liquidity. I did have a setup, but it was not my type of setup, right? So I have to follow my rules. It was not a legit low. This low right over here was from a different range. This was a 5 a.m. candle range, right? And this low Israel got purged with an entry and the market just spiked up and I take profit, right? With I think it was a 3 RR. And I did not take this trade. Why was the reason I didn't take this trade? Simply because of I think this is wrong here. Simply because the range low. The range low didn't have a legit low, so then I take it. It's fine, right? Because the next 2 days we had a beautiful setup. Both of them very beautiful. Made a mistake on one. I did. Before we go there, let's go to the next day. Let's explain why we're looking for longs here, right? And this day, we had a daily CRT, right, to the upside, and we had all these other concepts, right? On the concept, we had a daily IRL to ERL, we had a daily fair value gap to the upside, right? Supporting this, we had a daily key level supporting the CRT. We're like, okay, I'm looking for longs here, right? We're looking for a Neo reversal, 1 a.m. accumulation, 5 a.m. middle place, and a 9 a.m. expansion, right? And the next, you can see there we had a couple expansion candles on this, right? This was the low, this was the high, right? So our target one would be right here. Target two would be the 50% mark of the daily. And keep in mind, I did not go for the 50% mark. I went for the high all over here. Thus, why if I were to hold this trade, I would have faced another break-even trade. Why? I'll tell you guys about that, right? Before we do that, let's explain why we took the trade, right? We had a range low got suit, right? We got a range, this range, there's a range right over here. It was relative to the market price. So with this range low got suit, so we want to buy now, right? We don't want to sell. So let's go to the 50-minute time frame for execution. We had the way I made a mistake here, you can see market press at one more time right over here, right? You can see the press happen one more time, but look at the press time, right? This press happened at 5:30 a.m. which but the Pacific time of the purge, it must be between 6 a.m. all the way to 10:30 a.m., right? 7 a.m. is fine, but 5 a.m. is not, right? This purge happens at 5 a.m. I thought I was chilling because the entry would happen at 6 a.m., right? So I thought that was cool. You know, how to find out, no, it's not cool. I had to find out that my 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 timing of the purge is the most important, right? Because this setup was such a beautiful setup. I thought it was an expansion, retracement, accumulation, manipulation, expansion. It's not the case because the timing of the purge. So this manipulation was a false manipulation. So it's still in the range because this manipulation did not happen at the right time, right? So market went down here, dug below this low one more time. There's on the entry right there, right over there, the entry, right? Dug below this low one more time. And eventually this candle did not give us the model one. So this candle right here, dug below this candle. So this will be our new model one. And we had the entry right over there. Entry, stop loss, take profit one was this CRT high, which got hit during that day. Take profit two was this 50% mark of the 50% mark of the daily CRT that we had right over here. Why was our take profit 50% of the mark? Because the trade we took this trade on Thursday. So there's a way, you know, the way to get your take profit very well calculated is through having time, right? The time you take your trade really matters a lot, right? Why does it matter? Because Thursday and Friday are usually a day where the market likes to close, right? Market likes to go, so not a big major move happens, right? So in this case, when the range all got souped, the 50% mark did not already get tapped, so it would have made sense for us to go just for that 50% mark as our final take profit, right? So it would have not made sense for us to go all the way till the high because it's Thursday and it's Friday. Thursday and Friday needs to close on a fair price. You can see this week had a major range here, right? Major swings, right? So it would have made sense for the market to go poop right back down, right? So for going to the high of this would have not made sense, right? So all you got to do is go for the 50% mark only. Why 50% mark only? Because, you know, as I said, it's Thursday and Friday. So Thursday and Friday, if you're in a daily range, just go for the 50% mark. If the 50% mark has already been tapped, go for the high or low, right? If there's no ranges there, just go for anything like, you know, take profits that are near, that are not unrealistic, right? In this case, this take profit right over here will be unrealistic. And I think I had greed in this as well. I think I had greed. I wanted to make more money, right? So that's how I went over here. That was a problem as well, I think, right? Just that right there just came out of my mind. I thought, you know, that's what I'm thinking, that I had a greed problem, right? You guys know emotions, right? In tradings especially, right? So right over here, we had this 50% mark that never got tapped. So our final take profit should have been here. So we made a mistake right over here. This would have been a real entry. And you guys wondering, why did I not take this entry? Because I took one trade. I can only take one trade, right? So that's why I have to be perfect in my trading rules, right? Because my trading rules prevent me from taking low probability setups. It only makes me take the highest probability setups in the trading industry, right? For me, and especially my way of trading, right? So my rules make me take the highest probability setups, right? I don't know about yours, but mine does that, right? So mine tells me if it's the highest probability setup, I should only be taking one trade, right? And that one trade could go in a loss or a win, but that's the best trade, right? So making me take the highest probability setup. So that's why I did not take this other trade. Yes, I broke more of my rule, but guess what? I did not want to keep on breaking my rule, because if I broke my rule right here, I'm constantly building bad habits, and I don't want that bad habit to constantly go on and make me, go on a huge losing streak, right? So that's why I only took the trade and I called it a day. I knew there's gonna be another setup, but I'm not gonna take it because why? I'm not gonna take it simply because I did not want to keep on building bad habits, right? I know that trade could have gone in a win, but I'm not gonna take it because this setup right is beautiful, right? A+ setup for me, right? Just the time of the pressure not happening at the right time. So market pressure out one more time and give me the entry there, right? And our final take profit will be the 50% mark of the daily range. Why? Because we're on Thursday and the 50% mark has not been tapped yet. So our final take profit will be the 50% mark. And now let's go to the next day, NFP Friday. Beautiful setup once again, very beautiful setup. We had a daily 4-hour IRL to ERL. We had a 4-hour, we had a daily range. You know, still had his ranges, right? We're still in his range. 4-hour key level right here is our IRLs are the key level, right? Our range all got pressed. We want to buy. We still have not tapped the 50% mark of the daily CRT. My dumbass put my take profit here, and that's how I round tripped 2,000, right? Because I was up 2,000, 2,300. I'm pretty sure. Eventually, market spiked down because I did not see this, right? I think, too greedy, as I said, greedy on this part and greedy on this part, right? I wanted to make more, right? And that's like, that emotion. Now I know that, if now I know not to set up unrealistic take profit because this is Thursday and Friday. And Thursday and Friday, if the 50% mark of the daily CRT has not been tapped, that's going to be my final take profit, right? If the 50% mark has already been tapped, I'm gonna go for the CRT high or CRT low, right? If there's no daily range, I'm gonna go for the closest take profit or just do the CRT high, right? So that's that. And now you can see beautiful setup. We're looking for a New York reversal because if I'm bullish, I don't want the I want London to make the low high of the day. I mean low of the day, not the high of the day. In this case, he meant the high of the day. So I'm looking for a New York reversal here. So I'll go to the 15-minute time frame. Soup at the range low. Now I made sure that this soup happened between 6 a.m. and this soup happened at 7 a.m. Right? So I was like, okay, 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. is a fine way of looking for this setup, right? And eventually you can see market gave it the entry at 8 a.m. 8:15, he was just playing around here, and eventually gave us an entry. Once he gave us the entry, I entered here, press upload right over here. I'll take profit one was right over here, take profit two right over here, right? Market spiked up, hitting our target one. I instantly went to break even, and I said, "Hey Siri, it was 50% of 5.56 because that's the lot I was playing with, right, for the specific trade, right? I was just getting $500, right? So basically 1%. I was literally done that, and the market just fully reversed without even waiting. Right, and you can see that 1 minute time frame. That literally the 1 minute candle was the one to push it up and down. Right, so literally I had no time to even think about it. Right, so I went to go to Trade Locker and look for my time. Where should I put my to calculate my lot size and to calculate my partials because I have to click some buttons to go to that to that area. Eventually, it was too late. Market is fully reversed, and I only ended up $133. Right, so basically round tripping. Right, and my take profit on this was all the way here. Right, if I were to set my take profit in the 50% mark, I would have not even worried about breaking even. Market would just probably hit my take profit with the first minute, right? In the first scan of the NFP, right? So this trade was a perfect trade again on my time, very high quality setup. This week we had two setups, right? Very fantastic, very nice. Usually I'll always get like one setup a week, one to two setups a week, not more than that. Which is those setups are really high quality setups, right? So that's that, and this is how I end up on a negative $400 day trading Euro USD and the week, right? It should have been more than 2,000. I should have ended up on at least a 3,500 by this round trip, right? By his lessons, right? So now let's go over our lessons throughout the week. What did we learn from this week, right? The lesson we learned from this week is first lesson is wake up 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Second lesson is look for the right time of the price. The price should be between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., right? Third lesson is if you're trading between Thursday and Friday, and we're in a present of a daily CRT, and the daily CRT high or low has not been the daily CRT 50% mark has not been tapped. My final take profit will be the 50% mark of the daily range, right? That's a fourth lesson, right? And the fifth lesson is if the 50% mark of the daily CRT has been tapped, go for the CRT high or CRT low, right? And that's only during the Pacific time, which is Thursday and Friday. And that's our next lesson. what's our last lesson is to, if I'm in a trade and there's NFP, I know the next minute is NFP, I should be my phone already looking to partial and stuff, right? And he took a different go to loss, right? And, that's part of the process, right? That's part of the game, right? I can never have 100% win rate, right? But that was the lesson. What was that lesson one more time? Is to wake up at 5 a.m. Our lesson was that to look for the right time of the purge between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Other lesson was if we're trading between Thursday and Friday, our take profit should be the 50% mark of the daily CRT. If only if it has not been met yet. So that's gonna be our final take profit. If it already got met, our final take profit would be the CRT high, CRT low of the daily CRT, right? Of the daily time frame, right? Or weekly, whatever, right? Doesn't really matter. Our next lesson was to not be greedy. And our final lesson is to that's it. That was a lot. That's our final lesson, right? We have covered everything, right? To wake up at 6 a.m. To wake up at 5 a.m. To only have purchases between 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. If it's not a specific time, do not take a trade. And the next two lessons were if we're trading between Thursday and Friday and the 50% daily CRT has not been met, our final take profit will be the 50% of the daily CRT. If it's already been met, it's going to be CRT high to low. And our final lesson would be is to wake up. I mean, not to wake up, is to not be greedy on our take profit. Go what the market wants to do and not where I want the market to do, right? In this case, I wanted the market to go over here. Market wants to go over here in reverse, right? And that was our last lesson. So this is how I ended up on a week at negative 400. It should have been more than, should have been no losses. Would be no losses soon in the future. I will not make the same mistakes over and over. So these are the lessons I'm going to carry on the next week and on forward to never make the same mistakes again, right? Here's what you see right over here. This trade we took on Thursday, I'll show you guys an example of what I mean by time, right? This trade we took on Thursday with daily CRT, our goal should only be to the 50% mark. Why 50% mark only? Because we're in Thursday and market does not look like a goal over here because Thursday and Friday needs to close, right? So that will be example. That will be the next example I'll give you guys. Do I have any more examples of this? Let's see. In this case, you can see we have a daily CRT and it's Friday. The market has already in Thursday and Friday, right? Thursday, Friday, we had both of the days we had setups, right? And we're beyond the 50% mark. So our strong look would be our take profit would be the daily 50% daily CRT low, right? In this case, it would be a CRT low. And as you guys know, if we take a trade on Thursday or Friday, if the 50% mark has not been met, our final take profit would be 50% mark, right? If it has already been met, our final take profit would be the CRT high or CRT low, right? Only if we're trading on Thursday or Friday. And on Monday, we don't have to go for the 50% mark, or Tuesday, we don't have to go for the 50% mark, or Wednesday, we don't have to go for the 50% mark, right? And yeah, this is how I end up on a negative $400 day trading Euro USD. And yeah, this is my weekly market recap. We learn from these lessons, want to carry it on and improve, right? So thank you for watching. Peace out. Make sure you join my Discord, link in the description down below.